people don't have as much freedom as they once had, even though we have the same amount of time.
Yes.
So if we can concentrate a learning into something that doesn't have a lot of fluff and still make it engaging and powerful, then that would be the recipe for success around the world. Choose one thing and you get better by 1% a day. At the end of a year, you'll be 37 times better, 37x better. My 29-year-old son sent me a text and he said, "Dad, thank you so much for creating this company. I get better every day by watching videos." And when you have that coming in from your own child,
that's, oh my God. It's taking away the excuse factor, because sometimes people are like, I can't do this because
don't have time.
Yeah, and I don't know about it. And it's just taking it out. Like, there's no reason for you to not be better than what you are today. Today's guest needs little introduction if you have spent any time in the world of sales, leadership, or personal growth. He is a New York Times best-selling author, a world-renowned speaker, and the pioneer of one of the most powerful concepts in the world of business: relationship selling. With over 30 years of experience, Todd Duncan has transformed the lives and careers of over 5 million people across the globe. He is not just a heart-led leader and a visionary, but he's also now the founder of Fuel, a platform dedicated to helping individuals and business transform knowledge into value-driven action. And in today's episode, we are diving deep into what it takes to take you from the current version where you are to the version you're meant to be. So get ready to learn, reflect, and be inspired, because this is those episodes that you'll want to keep coming back to more than once. Todd, I'm so honored to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely over the moon today.
Oh, so am I, to join you and to know your achievements and accomplishments and to know how much you care about people, and to be right here with you in Melbourne. Let's go. It's an honor to be here.
It's incredible. Todd, I want to talk everything Fuel today. I know Fuel, you are the creative mind behind Fuel. You've officially launching it in Australia right now. Tell us everything about it. What is Fuel, and what is the inspiration for you to be creating a company like Fuel?
Yeah. So I think the first thing I would say is that, long ago I decided that my purpose in life was to make a difference. And you realize that when that is your purpose and you have the gift of being a communicator and a content creator and an author and all of that, there still is only so many people that you can reach. Yeah. And so one of the gifts that happened during COVID was that we decided to live stream one of our events. And the short story is that event usually had about 3,000 people at it. And during COVID, we had over 44,000 devices connected from 13 countries. Wow. And I decided right then and there, if my real true purpose is to make a difference and to make an impact, what better way to do it than to build a company that would be a technology, forward-thinking company that would be, I think the original vision was like Netflix for personal growth and personal development. If it could be that easy to use and that kind of wide range in terms of topics, and you could learn anything you wanted to do, any time you wanted to learn it, anywhere you wanted to learn it, on any device you wanted to learn it. Yeah. And then I could pull 100 or 200 thought leaders into this platform. And just like Hollywood and Bollywood and all the actors and everybody, Netflix wouldn't have anything without personalities and people. So that was the vision. And we launched that vision in 2022, did a bunch of alpha and beta testing as we built the technology. And then we decided all the lessons learned from that, we would just kind of park over here in the parking lot. And then we decided to go full stream, live video. And two things about Fuel that I think is really important. I think at the end of the day, this hoodie says what we do. One thing changes everything. And I think in life, a lot of people accept mediocrity. They accept maybe they're not best version of themselves. Maybe they struggle with, how do I learn how to do this, be a better parent, be a better business person, be a better whatever, right? If we all desire to have a little bit better of ourselves, to have a little bit better life experience, what better way to do it than to be able to watch a 3-minute or 2-minute or 4-minute micro lesson on this or that or the other thing. So Fuel is full of micro learning. And the reason why micro learning is so important is because people don't have as much freedom as they once had, even though we have the same amount of time. Yes. So if we can concentrate a learning into something that doesn't have a lot of fluff, doesn't have a lot of time spent just talking about nothing and still make it engaging and powerful,
Yeah.
then that would be the recipe for success around the world. So we've been operative for just about 10 or 11 months right now, and we're in 53 countries. And
Wow.
Australia is one of my favorite places to be. I've had a lot of business opportunity here. So what better place to make sure the country knows about this new learning tool than Australia? So here we are.
Absolutely. We're so
And we get
excited
to talk to you.
So excited to have you
Yeah.
in Australia, and we're grateful and lucky and blessed to have Fuel here as well. But I wanted to understand, Todd, what makes Fuel different from the other learning and training platforms that are out there already?
Yeah, I think a couple things. One of the newest clients that has onboarded thousands of people on Fuel said that they love several of the other learning platforms, and I don't think I want to mention them by name, but I would just say that where most of the learning platforms stop, Fuel continues. And what I mean by that is we're not just a learning distribution content company, we're a performance company. And we don't feel that there's really value in you experiencing any learning unless at some level you know that you can do what you're learning, right? So there's a performance element of this where we make sure in the lessons that you can prove to yourself that you understand not only the concept of the content, but how to go do something with it. And on our desktop learning, and you can bypass this when you're on mobile, which is very important. But on our desktop learning version, there's exercises where you might have a keyboard, or you might have a camera, or you might have a microphone, and we might be asking you to just do a video of yourself in 10 years and just record that and see if you really understand the power of planning, right? Or, if you have call reluctance in sales, maybe try this script 3 times and record the script 3 times. And if you like one of those, save it. If you don't, start over and record that script 3 times until you have confidence that you no longer fear making sales calls. And that's what makes us different. We're a performance company after we're a learning company. And what that means is for companies, the implementation is 300 to 400% faster. The cost of developing content is 50% minimally less. The engagement and the use and even the customer service surveys that we're getting go up when you have people learning things faster that are easier to implement, and they prove to themselves that they know how to do it. So that's how we're different. We don't stop just with giving you the content. We make sure you understand how to implement the content.
That's transformational when you think about it. Because,
So transformational.
And I have never heard or seen anything that actually takes it beyond the delivery of the content, because it stops there. And here we're going further with the exercises and everything as well.
Well, it was interesting because when you're in the business that I had been in my whole life until we started Fuel, it was always about teaching and speaking and giving people the right intent, right? Giving people ideas that they could bring to life. And I would watch in the audience and they would be writing notes, or they would be taking notes on their pad or digital device. And I would often get the comment or the question at the end of a learning, what's the first thing I should do? Or what do I do next? Or I have these 21 ideas. Which one should I do first? And I really started to feel that I have an ethical, I have a fiduciary, and I have a moral obligation to make sure that if you're investing any money to come to an event that I'm hosting, or you hire me as a keynote speaker to come and speak at your event, I have to give somebody something that lasts beyond the end of the speech.
Absolutely.
So where a keynote speech or a learning stops, Fuel begins. And I said that to a couple of companies, and they said, so what you're saying is after your speech, our people could have a track to run on for a year? And I said, not only a year, for their life.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what motivates me to do it.
This episode is sponsored by Finsol Insurance, where we help families protect what matters most: your health, your loved ones, and your lifestyle. Life is unpredictable, but your financial security shouldn't be. So if you're a parent, a homeowner, or just someone who values peace of mind, make sure that you are protected with the right protection. Use the link below to book a strategy call and take the first step towards securing your future. I'm so excited to use it myself as well, because I am a personal development junkie. Like, I consume so much content on personal development. And I'd say probably less than 10% is what I implement, because there's just so much out there. And then when you move on with life, it either evaporates, or you can't implement everything unless like somebody tells you what to do next. Even so, I think this is brilliant.
Well, you know what also is very cool is that because we're a technology company, we've integrated very, very strong agentive AI into Fuel. And so let's say, for example, that Priyanka is an instructor on Fuel. And there are people that would like to have a conversation with you, even though you're not live. Your agentive GPT, if you will, can have a conversation with anybody and can literally pull from all of Fuel any of the content that you have or that other instructors have, and literally 24/7 coach somebody through whatever they'd like to do. And that alone is powerful. The other thing that's really interesting is that when you build a technology company that's in personal growth, you have to have a recommendation engine. So now, based on what the learning patterns are of anybody that's a Fuel user, the recommendation engines are telling you that, just like on Amazon or anything, based on you liking this, you might want to try this, or other people that watch this have also watched that. And it just keeps learning. You know, the more you learn, and the more you do this and you do that, the more it tells you, here's something you might want to consider next. So in that regard, it narrows the options, but enhances the choices.
Absolutely.
It's powerful.
It is powerful. And it actually is like a live coach right there, who's actually invested so much in the person to learn and to be the best version of themselves, that they're coaching them 24/7, and they're recommending things that actually can take them to the best version of themselves.
Right. And I'm not recommending that anybody sit there for 24 hours and have an agentive conversation with your GPT. But let's say you're thinking about calling a customer that's a little bit upset. You can go to any one of the instructors and you can say, hey, I've got to call this customer. They had a bad experience. What should I say? And within a second, it'll tell you what to say. And then it will ask you, would you like to role play this before you make the phone call?
Wow.
So now I can actually have a conversation where you pretend to be the customer. I've learned what you told me as my coach to say. And now I get to role play that with you. And as soon as I'm done, I disengage, pick up the telephone, call the customer, and I win.
Wow.
See, practice is more important to performance than knowledge. Knowing something is not as important to knowing how to do what you know. And that is why the idea of getting better every day. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about the power of habits. And they said, if you just get 1% better a day at something, choose the thing you want to get better at. Maybe there's 2 or 3 things, but choose one thing and you get better by 1% a day. At the end of a year, you'll be 37 times better, 37x better. And that's just powerful. And people go, well, every day you can't get better 1%. Well, okay, so just get 1% better a day for 5 days, and for 8 months, that's 250 days. You'll be 10% better. Yeah. So the goal in life is, let's just learn, grow, and get better. And now we've made it on demand, in demand, on any device, anywhere, anytime. It's powerful. So people should just go to myfuel.io and check it out.
Perfect.
myfuel.io and check it out.
Yes, it'll be linked in the description as well. So everybody will be able to check it out.
You're a top producer. You're a thought leader. How inspired are you about learning?
Absolutely. I can't wait to go on and try everything myself. And I think I would be one of the most dedicated. As I said, I am a personal development junkie. I'm obsessed with it. So if I can get something that's going to deliver things I need to better myself every day in a way that I can actually absorb it and implement it, I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
I don't need these 1,000 books that have been being referred to me all the time.
Well, you know what's interesting on that? So micro-learning is like, and I'm an author, so I've written 22 books, and I'm thinking, okay, so what is micro-learning if you apply it to books? So we were talking to somebody recently, and we said, we take a book and make it a smart book. And they go, what's a smart book? Well, a smart book is where you take almost everything out of the book that isn't really essential to the learning, and all you do is deliver the learning. So instead of a 20-page chapter in a book, you could have a 1-page video or a 2-page video of what's the essence of this chapter, right? And what ends up happening, I think, with people when they understand this is And it's not just business, it's everything in life. How do I save more money? How do I build more wealth? How do I reduce my inflammation? How do I get rid of my bad, gut health? I mean, how do I sleep deeper at night? How do I create less stress in my life? We have live shows, meditation shows and visualization shows. And so it's full spectrum learning for your life, not just business, not just personal, but it's the whole thing. Because here's the deal: if you are healthier off the job in all ways, right? Mental, physical, whatever. If you're healthier off the job, you're happier on the job. And for anybody listening that's an executive, when you have happy employees, they produce a 21% higher profit margin than unhappy employees. So leaders are really resonating with Fuel because I can give my team something that will help them be healthier off the job, be happier on the job, be more profitable for themselves, their family, their company. And it's just a win-win all the way
It is
around.
a win-win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is exactly the word I was thinking in my head. I was like, there's nothing to lose by doing this.
And everything to gain.
Absolutely.
That was good. What you just said was good.
But are we saying that it's relevant to even beyond professionals, entrepreneurs, and people in business? So even somebody who's not going to work, is just a family person, could also benefit from that?
So we had a Navy veteran that jumped onto Fuel, and he said it was so powerful for him that he sat down with his spouse to watch some of the Fuel, and then their 16-year-old son saw what they were watching and asked if he could watch it with them. And so now they have a family practice that at night after dinner they watch Fuel. And so we were starting to think about that, and then we were starting to think about, well, who doesn't have to necessarily go to work, but might still have a role in the family, might be, a stay-at-home mom, might be. We had a session we recorded the other day, the 8 non-negotiables for thriving working moms. Okay. So some are working, some are not. Yes. But even if you're not working on a job, you're working at the home, right? Yes. And so then when we had that military conversation, it was like, there's an idea here. And Fuel is just an idea that just keeps getting better and better. And now that we have a product, but so the next thing coming up is Fuel for Kids. Wow. And we are going to give parents an opportunity to have a tool to fuel the next generation of learners and doers in the world, and even the generation after them. And the reason we're doing this is because we individually, we don't have all the answers. Yes. But as a community, we have all the answers and we have the support and resources. So I see this going to universities. I see this going to high schoolers, to kids in junior high, and doing it in a way that isn't educational. Like we now use animated short films for kids because they love animation. Why watch an instructor when you can hear a story of somebody that? So we've just started launching those, and they're just so powerful. So it's to your question. It is for everybody. If you want to have the best version of yourself, if you want to enjoy life, if you want to handle adversity better, if you want to just, if you have a dream and you don't know quite how to get there, I mean, there's thousands of lessons and courses. And by the time we're done with this, it's already worldwide. There's already translatable AI in 100 languages.
Right. So there's that aspect to it as well, that you can actually consume it in the language you understand. It doesn't have to be English. So of course, yes. Oh my God. Like it's mind blowing. Like I'm mind blown right now, and I don't have words, and I just want, like, even the Fuel for Kids. I can't wait for my kids to explore and experience that. So
I got a text from my 29-year-old son the other day, and I'm just speaking as a parent, not as a founder of the company. But my 29-year-old son sent me a text and he said, "Dad, thank you so much for creating this company. I get better every day by watching videos." And when you have that coming in from your own child,
that's, oh my God.
There is nothing better than that. Nothing better than that. Yeah. Nothing changes till something changes. And this is a tool to help you change whatever you want to be a better version of yourself. And self-esteem, self-image, you look in the mirror, you have more pride, you feel better about yourself. I mean, I could go on and on, but I know we're running out of time.
I think it's a product that can only get bigger and bigger every single day, because the concept it's born with It's something the world needs right now.
Yes.
And everything that you're putting into it is only enhancing it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and we pay attention to what our customers say. I mean, 96.7% of learners have rated the program 2 thumbs up or 1 thumbs up.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive. And the number one word that is being used, I'm addicted to fuel. So there's a healthy addiction. It's a healthy obsession. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So grateful.
That's wonderful. I'm grateful for that as well. But maybe just a few last questions, Todd.
Sure.
What sort of transformation or changes have you seen or do you expect to see when people go through the fuel experience?
It really depends on what you want to accomplish. We've already seen marriages healed. We've already seen people that were told that if they didn't get healthy or lose weight, that they would, have a premature death. We're watching people already shed in 10 months, 38 pounds. I don't know what that translates into kilos, but, you look at that. We got a message the other day from a boy that saw a difference in his dad.
Really?
Yeah, just because his dad was not angry anymore. And so it's that kind of stuff. We had somebody that watched 22 lessons her first day, and she realized that there was 3 things she wasn't doing in her life to be happier. And she chose those 3 things, put them on the calendar, and started doing those. And she sent us a video on how obsessed she was with this new thing called fuel because she was feeling better about herself. So we see all of that. I think the other thing for me, it's always interesting to have at some point written a book and then read your own book sometime down the track.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you that every day I watch at least 2 lessons from Fuel. I own the company with my partner, Alex, and I'm getting impacted as an owner. So, I think that speaks volumes, and we're all, no matter where we find ourselves in life, myself included, there's always something we can do better. And it's not better because you're not good to start with. We're all miracles. Yeah. There's not another Priyanka on the earth. Yeah. There's not another Todd on the earth. We're all miracles. And so then the question is, how do we optimize our miracleness? How do we just give ourselves permission to succeed and to be happier and to, not be so critical and dramatic and all of that. So the feedback loops, we have thousands of testimonials just in the first 10 months. And it's just like, all right, I now wake up every day knowing why I did this. The dream is coming. The dream has come true. It's now just a matter of scaling around the world. And we're already, it might only be 1 user in a country in some of these countries, but 53 countries right now. So
it's changing the world.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yes, it is. So that's what we've seen.
And it's taking away the excuse factor because sometimes people are like, I can't do this because
don't have time.
Yeah, and I don't know about it. And it's just taking it out. Like there's no reason for you to not be better than what you are today. You've got access to everything you need.
Well, and therein lies the question of why would you want to be happier than you are? That's a big question. Like if your happiness is where it is, whatever it is, would another ounce or another, inch or another pound of happiness be worth it? If all you had to do was listen to some lessons and do something with it. We got a text the other day from somebody that was in line at a coffee shop and listened to a lesson from the time he got into the line to the time he picked up his coffee. And he said the lesson changed his attitude for the whole day.
Wow.
Before the day gets crazy, your attitude of the whole day changed because you just chose to optimize your time in line. He had his ear pods in and just watched the lesson.
And because they're micro learning short content, it's not that you'll have to sit somewhere for at least 20, 30, 60 minutes to consume something.
Nope. And when you have the pop-ups, the camera, or the keyboard, or the camera, or the video, you can opt into that. And if you do, then you're creating a digital success journal in your profile. So then you're reminded of your goals. You're reminded of the things that you said that you wanted to do. And we have pop-ups and nudges to let you know you need to keep going here or there. And so the digital technology behind it is even helping people with goal setting and achieving goals and reminding them of why they're doing things. Yeah. So it's all encompassing. But at the end of the day, when people send something in and say, thank you, that's all I need to hear.
That's
That's all I need to hear. Thank you.
That's brilliant. I had a conversation just recently with another of my podcast guests, and we had a deep conversation about digital wellness and how to use technology in a more mindful and meaningful way. And I've got the right answer right there with fuel. Like, I don't think there's a better use of technology than fuel. And if I can use technology to better myself every day with something that tracks what I did, how I can better myself, I think there's nothing other than that I would want to use.
No, and also it's the mindfulness. So we have Mindset Mondays that are live shows, and we have experts in health and wellness and meditation and programming and mindset and all those types of things. And truth be told, last night I'm in a different time zone, and last night I was having trouble going to sleep. So I went on my own app for my own company, and I listened to a mindfulness meditation for 22 minutes last night. And I woke up at 3 a.m. with my earpods in my ear still, but I fell asleep listening to one of our own lessons on how to this whole. And it wasn't teaching; it was just this meditation, and I fell asleep. And I kind of like this, I fall asleep with my own product and my own tool. That's a pretty darn good thing. The other thing is, I was asked on a podcast recently about, what do you do to start your day? And I think that the whole idea of fuel is we really help you create that mindset mastery around how to start the day. And I just say to people all the time that how you start the day has a lot to do with how you get through the day. Right. And setting you up for success. So it doesn't matter if we're going to sleep or if we're waking up, fuel's there for you. And the metaphor is pure. Let's fuel up. Let's fuel up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the mantra. But thank you so much, Todd,
so
for
welcome.
joining us on the conversation.
Yes. Thank you,
I cannot
Priyanka.
wait to try fuel myself and for all our listeners to try it as well. It's fuel.io right there in the description. But you've got everything right there. Can't wait for all of us to level up together.
Fuel up. Let's level up. Level up, fuel up with Level Up. That's such a great name.
Let's
go. Yeah.
But thank you, Todd. It was phenomenal, everything that you shared. And absolutely, such an honor and pleasure having you on the
I feel blessed
podcast.
to have been here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.